Good morning. So I am in market prep mode and I figured why not just do a Thrifty Thursday and share with everybody what's really been catching my eye, what I've been adding in my cart. I'm going to share with you the items that I'm going to leave as is and how I'm going to stage them during the market, and also items that I found that I feel like I could repurpose them and make them into something even more functional and beautiful. So that's kind of what this video is about for right now. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll be happy to share information that I have with you. And I'm just going to kind of go right to town here. And yeah, if you're new here, my name's Heather. I'm the owner of Northern Vintage Decor. I'm a vintage vendor and antique dealer who also likes to find stuff for a really good price and then DIY and repurpose both new and used, or new and old items too. So I'm just going to kind of get started here. This is my haul over the past couple days, and there's more, but this is what could fit on the table. So one thing that I like and I'm transitioning to more of now is I'm focusing more on smaller items. I've always gathered smaller items to take to markets. I do enjoy painting furniture. I do like those big standout pieces, but I have a compact cargo van. I'm doing a lot of these shows without my husband now, and I mean, he's still in the picture. Like, yes, he's doing shows with me too, but because of our work schedules, some of them I'm going to be doing without him, and I've just kind of rearranged how I do things, but it's still me. It's just on a little bit of a different scale. So yeah, so I don't even know where I want to start. I love all of this stuff. I think it flows so beautifully together, and I'm really excited to share. So I'm just going to go from left to right, and then yeah, if you have questions or whatnot, just leave me a comment. So I found these yesterday, and these, like the wicker parts, these are not, I don't think they're old, but I am repurposing them. If these flowers fall out right now, that's because they're not really in there very well. I'm not done with this. This was just to give you a visual, FYI. But I seen these, okay, if you're familiar at Goodwill when they roll out those blue bins, yeah, I'm the person that likes to go run to those blue bins, and I know you know what I'm talking about if you go to Goodwill too. So these rolled out yesterday, and I was like, I instantly knew because I had literally been visualizing something like this in my mind. But if you've seen the prices for some of these things, I'm not going to pay it as is. Like, because I got to repurpose it. I got my time into it. And I'm just like, all right, if I ever find something like this where I can, it's affordable and it's still going to be affordable to the buyer, I'm definitely going to buy it. Well, yesterday was my day. So this is kind of the look I'm going for. It's going to be like a hanging wall decor, flat basket look type thing, whatever you want to call it. And I just stuck some faux flowers in there for right now that I had nearby. Like I said, if they fall out, it's just because I just stuck them in there. There's no glue, there's no nothing. This was just to give you a visual. But see, I left this here so people can hang it, but there was one at the bottom that I had taken off. So I'll show you, because I got a stack of these, which I thought was even greater, because I'm going to hang them on I made faux walls for the market too, so you guys will see that. But see, this is what it looks like. It had two of these handles on here, and I took one handle off. I didn't find it was necessary, but I left the top one on so you can have it to hang. You really don't need any of them, because you can just stick a little tack nail through there and nail it, but whatever, I left the one on. It looks nice. So I have a stack of these and 6 of them total. So I am going to be making these up, and the first chance they'll be available is at the Hobnob Hoopla Market in Terre Haute, Indiana at the end of this month. And the next item Okay, these were a super cool find. I'm a sucker for old books and I love the color green. So we stopped at an antique store this past week by accident, and this this one antique dealer, he had a bunch of antique and vintage books, and I'm like, do you wheel and deal? And he's like, yeah, of course. And so I just created a pile of the green color books because I like to stack in colors. They're really good for props, home decorating. You can even turn these into bookends, kind of like what I did right there. So yeah, I just tied these up with some julep twine, added some faux flowers right here, and then there's a set of 3. Really pretty, really simple decor. I believe I bought, let's see here, I think I have 11 books. I got 11 green books because there's a couple behind here and over there. So all these green ones were from one dealer. He was a really neat guy. He was a retired art teacher, which I knew none of this before I got to the antique shop. He actually had lived in Manistee at one point back in the day. He had started his first year teaching in Manistee for the first 2 or 3 years. He lived in the Dempsey Manor House, which is this historical mansion which has been turned into a bed and breakfast now. So he rented a room there when he was in his early years. You know, it was really neat. It just goes to show what a small world this really is. He was originally from Allegan, and yeah, the story goes on. But I've met all kinds of great people like that, so it's really interesting because it really goes to show what a small world this really is. And then the next item I'll show you, I thought these were fabulous. I did not DIY these. I bought these as is. These are vintage crochet linens that have been strung onto a metal hoop, and I just think these hanging would be absolutely beautiful. So there's a smaller one. It's probably about, I don't know, 7 to 8 inches in diameter, and then there's this larger one which is probably about 12 inches if I had to guess. So pretty. And like I said, I bought them as is, but you could totally make DIY those. And then here, I found this yesterday. It's a little wall sconce planter, so you can stick some faux lavender or whatever you want in these. Now, I do work with a lot of gold in my vignettes, so I could totally leave this as is and it would flow pretty. I might shab it up white though and put some faux lavender in there. That'd be beautiful too. Either way, this is a vintage piece. Usually it was like Cisco or something that made these, but I don't see a marking on it right now. But yeah, so there's that. I thought that was a great find, and it goes with the theme of my market this year. And then these stack of books I actually got from, where did I get these from? I think I got these from a thrift store, and they're just like all different varieties, and they're not all in the best condition. Some are, some aren't. Like this right here is missing the spine cover, but there's things you can do with that to DIY these. It's not a big deal. I actually have the spine cover in the bag, so I could re-glue it. But I know it's not Christmas, but is this not gorgeous? I may just save this one until then. But I just love how, and this is the hard cover. This is what was underneath, so super pretty. There's this book. I think I'm probably going to keep this one to read. Very good find. And then I just thought this was neat. This is the one that's in a little bit of rough shape, but I wasn't going to leave it behind. It's the Complete Guide to Modern Knitting and Crocheting. I just thought that was super cool, and it's got just all kinds of different techniques and things that you can do. I'm no knitter, but I know there's a lot of people out there who like to do that. And then just some more green books. So there is that. Oh, and this cool vintage kids book. I thought that was super cool, so I had to add that one too. Billy Whiskers. And let's see. What else can I show you? Well, this is really neat. I like linens if they're colorful, floral. Look at this. This is just such pretty work and detail. So this set came with 3 or 4 placemats and then a runner. And I was like, oh, for spring and summer, for sure. This would look so cool on a little bohemian outdoor setting with these in the backdrop. I can just see it all now. So there's those, and then this runner is absolutely amazing. There's a few little flaws on it, like there's a little hole there and a couple other little one there, but I couldn't pass it. I'm like, this is just way too good. And the hours that went into that, I don't even want to think about it. And then this was amazing. I found this at kind of like a pay and way store, and it is vintage wallpaper. It looks like that watercolor, abstract, floral type design. I love it. I love the colors. I literally probably paid, I don't even know, maybe $1 or $2 for it. And it's a whole roll, which is even better. There's like no odor to it, which is great, because when you're working with paper and stuff, you got to check for that kind of stuff. So I'm going to like add these to my grab and go like little ephemera packets. I'm going to use it in my junk journals. It's just amazing. And I'm always on the eye for things like this. So that'll be kind of like a DIY that I add to my like jars and packets. And let's see, what else I want to show you. So I think the last thing on the table that I haven't really went over yet is probably this little jewelry box. So I found this, and I'm totally going to repurpose this. I don't know if I'm going to get around to it anytime soon, but eventually. Those have kind of gone up at the local thrifts, but if I find one that's in good condition and like the liners aren't all nasty, this one's like pretty good, then I'll pick it up. I paid $3 for this one, which is actually a pretty great price. So that I'll DIY, paint it up, and flip it. Now, I also have all of these musical, vintage, and antique magazines. This one's actually from like 1914. And I love these. I have a whole box of them I recently picked up. I love the ephemera in them. I love the sheet music. I love how their advertising ads are. Everything is just so detailed, so well put together. You don't see things like this anymore, and I just was like, wow, that's super cool. So again, I have a whole box of these, and some I'll sell as is, some I'll work with in my ephemera packs and junk journaling. But here is like, look at this cover, and this one's from 1912, and there's just so much great just advertising in here, and you can kind of see like when the furniture styles came out and what the names of them were. So if you're trying to learn stuff like styles and whatnot, just flipping through old things like this can actually give you a general idea of terms, style names, etc., makers. I mean, it takes work. It's not something you're going to learn overnight, but it's definitely good to have that reference in your noggin, I guess you would call it. I don't know what else to say. I've been doing this for so long. I don't know everything either, but it does help to be familiar with your niche. And this is a colored ad. I mean, for what year was this one published? I don't even know. Well, that says 1712, but this one's not from 1712. Probably early 1900s. So can you imagine what they paid to have this full page, like almost back cover ad back in the early 1900s? And then let's see, this one, again, it's like missing the main cover, but they're just packed full. There's like really cool stuff in here. This one's like April 1914. My husband and dad were both born in April, and they're both born on the same day, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, like this would be really cool in a junk journal, your yearly walk. Just like little things like this make things like that stand out even more. I don't know. I love this kind of stuff. I could spend days going through all of this stuff. So, and look at, again, like this would be cool, this ad. Like take this and put it in a frame and have it as a wall decor. That would look neat. Or also this little corner section would be really cool, cut out like that and then posted in a junk journal. This has really nice coloring to this. I think this is the cover of this one. So this is like really pretty. I love the floral scroll work of the architectural design there and all the colors. And then like in these, there's like articles and ephemera, like advertising, but there's also sheet music. So there's tons of this too. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to show you for this video. If you want to watch the replay, I'll post it on our YouTube channel. It's under northernvintagedecor.com. If you're just joining, you can find us. Everything's pretty much under Northern Vintage Decor. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Etsy, but I really don't do anything with it. We have our website, northernvintagedecor.com. So yeah, that's kind of my like thrifty haul. I did not get all this today. It's been over the course of like a week. If you like these, hit like, leave me a comment. I'll do more on Thursdays. I also have my Simple Sunday videos, which I do on Sundays. I show you like a project I'm working on or whatever, and I upload those on our YouTube channel also. All right, I will see some of you hopefully at Hobnob Hoopla, and the rest of you be on the lookout for one of my Facebook Live sales. I have not forgotten about you, my local peeps. Take care.